This conference will now be recorded.
There you go. It will be posted later today on the Chamber's YouTube site, located on the Chamber's webpage. Also, I want to remind everyone that members of the media have been invited to participate on this call as well. I'd respectfully ask all of you to put your phones and computers on mute until we're ready for questions. I'm really pleased to introduce our guest speaker today. He's a gentleman I have the opportunity to get to know very well in recent years. He's Manuel S Martinez. He's the field representative for the Texas Department of Agriculture. You can't live or visit East Texas, and especially Nacogdoches County, without recognizing the incredibly important role that agriculture plays in East Texas. From our forest products industry, from our agricultural industry, and poultry industry, cattle industry, and others, we are blessed with just apparently very productive environment for those types of enterprises. And I'm anxious to hear, as I'm sure all of you are, to hear to get an update from Manuel on recent activities as it relates to Texas as a whole, the department, and what's going on there in terms of promoting Texas and encouraging folks to consider careers in agriculture and education in agriculture, with SFA having one of the top programs in the country, and also to get an update on activities here in East Texas. So would you please welcome with me Manuel S Martinez, field representative for the Texas Department of Agriculture. Good morning, Manuel. Thank you.
Sorry, I was on mute there. Can you hear me? All right. Sorry. Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone had a good or happy 4th of July weekend. We enjoyed ourselves this past weekend with plenty of food and family and fun. So good to see everyone today. Happy to be here joining you all on the conference call. I want to commend Wayne and Kelly and the group at the Chamber for putting on these conference calls. I've been participating on these conference calls from the beginning when the pandemic hit us, and they have been very informative. It's been a great way to stay connected with everyone there in Nacogdoches, but not only Nacogdoches, but I think on a regionally, it's been, these conference calls have been very informative. So I want to commend the Chamber for coordinating this conference call, because I think they've been working out great. Today, I'm just going to talk to you guys about our agency and give you a broad overview of what the Texas Department of Agriculture, who we are, and then talk a little bit about our marketing program and our community and economic development programs. A lot of folks may not know what we do at the agency, and so I just wanted to give you an idea, kind of give you an idea of what we do and what my job is at the agency. I work in our trade and business development division. I have a region of 20 counties in East Texas. I help do outreach and community relations within those 20 counties in East Texas, and primarily we'll talk about today. I'll talk a little bit more about my main programs that I work, but I want to, when I talk to give presentations, I usually give a presentation and give an overview of our agency so that you get to know what we do at our agency. Mainly, I think our agency touches everybody's life in some way every day, and you may not know it. And so that's why I like to kind of go over an overview of what we do at our agency, just because you might not know that some way that the Texas Department of Agriculture has affected you in some way or fashion or form. Just a quick history lesson. Our agency was formed in 1907, and our key objectives are to help promote production, agriculture, consumer protection, economic development, healthy living. We have a headquarters in Austin. That's where our main headquarters is based out of. It's within a couple of 100 feet of the Texas State Capitol. We have 5 regional service offices in Houston, San Antonio, Lubbock, and down in the valley. We also have laboratories and some export facilities. Some things that you may not know about our laboratory: we have a laboratory in Giddings that helps with seed, certifying Texas seed, and also certifying any type of weights or measures product. When I say weights or measures, scales, we have little weights that are actually calibrated, and they're calibrated in our laboratory in Giddings, Texas. Our export facilities, we have export facilities mainly along the Texas-Mexico border, but we also have an export facility in Houston at the George Bush Intercontinental Airport. It is one of the only export facilities where you can export Texas horses, cattle, this type of livestock. They're being exported to other countries throughout the world for genetic purposes. So, you may have, or breeding purposes, you may have quarter horses that are being, sent to, whether it be Germany, Italy, South America, and same thing with cattle. We have cattle that are being shipped out to different regions of Texas for genetic, or different regions of the world for genetic purposes. The three divisions within our agency are the Agriculture and Consumer Protection Division, our Food and Nutrition Division, and our Trade and Business Development Division. Within those divisions, this is where we may touch your life in some way. If you go to a grocery store and you buy a pound of tomatoes, that scale at that grocery store has been inspected by one of our inspectors. If you go to a nursery and buy some plants at a nursery, whether it be a Lowe's or a local nursery, our inspectors have gone out to that nursery to check those plants, to inspect them for pests and disease. Produce safety inspections, we go out and do produce safety inspections. Egg inspections, we're the only agency that will go to a retailer and check on eggs that are sold at grocery stores. In the Food Nutrition Division, we administer a lot of the national school lunch programs. So whether it's a school meal, lunch meal that your daughter, granddaughter, child that is receiving at a local school, we administer some of those food and nutrition programs to a lot of school districts throughout the entire state. We also administer Meals on Wheels programs and other types of food and nutrition programs. I work out of the Trade and Business Development Division. My primary job is to help promote rural economic development. We have a state office of rural health. We have a marketing program, and we help promote Texas products on a national and international level. These kind of gives you, this slide right here shows you a little bit more about the different inspections that we would do through our agriculture and consumer protection programs. You see everything from consumer protection, cotton stock destruction, egg quality program, grain warehouse, produce safety, weights and measures, pesticide, organics. These are a list of inspections that are being done by our agency. One thing I want to point out is that we do get confused a lot with the Texas Agricultural Extension, Texas A&M Extension Service. Sometimes I work closely with Ricky there in the county. We are a separate agency than from the Texas A&M Extension Service. They primarily do education type programs and research programs. Our job and our agency is really to do regulation and administering programs. So that's probably the biggest difference between our two agencies. This is gives you a brief little description of our Food and Nutrition Division. We administer the National School Lunch and Breakfast Program. We help fight obesity in Texas through our 3 E's of Healthy Living program, which is education, exercise, and eating right. We also administer different programs throughout Texas to help with, fighting hunger, whether it's through our, providing grants to local food banks throughout Texas, or also working with farmers markets to help connect them to help connect through a SNAP program. We offer grants and programs on a local basis also. And then through our Trade and Business Development Division, we provide tools for communities to attract businesses and pursue other economic development opportunities. We help provide grants to rural communities, and we also market Texas products, whether it be locally produced products or it may be a Texas business or a Texas association that's trying to promote Texas made. And we do that through our Go Texan program. But I want to touch base real quick. When people ask me, what really do you do with the Department of Agriculture? And my role and my job is really to help market Texas products and provide resources for rural and economic development in small town Texas. So the 20 counties that I represent in East Texas, what I'm trying to do is promote Texas products and be a resource for rural and economic development. And I do that through regional partnerships, whether connecting with the Nacogdoches County Chamber of Commerce. I might work with the Texas Forest Country Partnership. I also might work with the East Texas Council of Governments. And I'm just a resource to help provide any type of information that our agency might have to help rural Texas. One of the things that we have, or one of the programs that I have that we work with a lot, is promoting local Texas products through our Go Texan program. Some of you may have seen this logo. This is our Go Texan logo. It was created in 1999. It's basically to help put a brand on Texas products. It's a way of identifying Texas products. When you, if you were to go, if you're outside of the state of Texas, the shape of Texas is pretty identifiable. Everybody can recognize that brand or that shape, and they know that that's a Texas-made product. So that's what we're trying to do with the Go Texan program, is to create a brand to help promote local Texas products. These products can include, it's a membership program. These products can include everything from food and beverage products to restaurants, farmers and ranches, farmers markets, nurseries, retailers, manufacturers, trade and producers associations, communities and chambers, and a variety of different events. As I mentioned, the logo is is really the mark that we try to do to help a company promote their product, and that's really one of the biggest benefits of the program, is to help. In order to be able to use that mark, you have to be certified a Texas-based company or produce a Texas product. And so you can join our program. It's a $100 membership fee to join, to utilize that mark. But with that mark, there's a variety of different benefits that you can utilize to help promote your business. Not only do you get to use the mark, but you get listed on our website as a Go Texan member. We have social media mentions. We also put out a monthly e-zine, and we work with a variety of different organizations to help promote our Go Texan membership. One of those, for example, retailers down there at the bottom, retail opportunities. We work with an H-E-B, Brookshire Brothers, Whole Foods, Walmart. They will come to our Austin headquarters, or they will contact our headquarters and ask, where can I find local Texas blueberries? Where can I find Texas beef, Texas watermelon? And so we help connect them with those locally produced companies, locally produced type products. And one of the companies that we work with, that's part of our Go Texan program, is Texas Farm Products. They're a TFP Nutrition. They're in Nacogdoches. They're part of our Go Texan program. This is a picture of a group. These are some of my colleagues from the Department of Agriculture. They're from all over the state of Texas. We took a tour of TFP Nutrition. For some of my colleagues, they may not have, they came to East Texas to visit and learn a little bit more about East Texas agriculture, and to also visit some of our Go Texan companies that are unique to to our region. They're unique to the state of Texas. TFP Nutrition is one of the largest manufacturers of dog food in the entire country. And so this is a very unique company, but we're also working with them to help promote Texas-based product. They produce dog food and feed for a variety of other companies under their own label. But for us, this might be something that's there locally, but they're also known worldwide for what they produce. And so we help work with TFP Nutrition to help, just to be a resource for them to help promote their product. If you were to look on their bags, you would see the Go Texan brand on there also. And so we're trying to identify that product as a Texas-based product. This is another Go Texan company, Fredonia Brewery. They're based there in Nacogdoches, as you all know, but they're part of our Go Texan program. And that's us taking a tour of the facility. Nacogdoches Farmers Market. If you were to visit the market there, you probably see the logo. The market is part of our Go Texan program. And then also the Blueberry Festival. We participate at the Blueberry Festival to help promote Texas products, but obviously to help promote East Texas blueberries. And then I'll just kind of end with the different grants and loans that we have to help producers, but also talk a little bit more about economic development programs that we have. So we do have some grants for ag producers. One is the Young Farmer Grant. We also have a loan that's called the Agricultural Loan Guarantee Program. And then we have a State of Texas Agricultural Relief Fund. I'll mention the State of Texas Agricultural Relief Fund is only whenever there's a disaster, whenever there's some type of weather disaster that hits, for example, the freeze. That fund is available to producers only when the governor declares that county, there's a governor's declaration in that county. So for any producers that are within a county where there's a governor's declaration, they can apply for this fund. It's up to $5,000 to help offset some of the costs or losses that they receive during that weather event or disaster, but it is available through our agency. I'll talk a little bit about the Young Farmer Grant. Within the Young Farmer Grant, this is a grant to help create or expand an operation. It's available twice a year, in the fall and in the spring. You can go to our website to apply for this grant. It's a grant up to $20,000 to help with creating or expanding an agricultural operation. So if you're looking on maybe planting some blueberries, maybe you want to have a beef operation, you can use those funds to help purchase some of that, the seed stock or the calves for your operation. It won't help buy land. You're not able to buy any type of land, but it's more operating costs. So if you're looking at maybe building a fence, any type of irrigation equipment, things like that, that's where this fund can be used to help with those type of costs. And the grant is open only to applicants between the ages of 18 and 46. What we're trying to do there is trying to get the younger generation involved in agriculture. And so that's the reason why we have that. This is probably the only grant that's available that we're aware of to help, with creating or expanding operations. We wish we did have more funds available to help with just any type of operation. But what we're really trying to do here is just trying to get the younger generation involved in agriculture and to make sure that there's a future in agriculture for the state of Texas. Now I'll talk a little bit about our rural development programs. Texas Department of Agriculture administers the Community Development Block Grant. This is a grant, this fund is basically to help rural cities in Texas. And so what we're trying to do here is to provide funds with water and wastewater infrastructure improvements, street and drainage improvements. The Community Development Fund is our largest fund within the Community Development Block Grant, and it's available within our within the Texas Council of Governments region. And so, we have communities in the East Texas area that will apply for this fund to help with any type of infrastructure improvement in their city. Most of the communities will apply for the fund to help with a new water line, new water storage tank. Maybe there's some sewer improvements that they need done in the city, and then also maybe some street and drainage improvements. The goal and the mission of this fund, the reason why we help administer this fund, is so that if rural Texas continues to thrive and have the proper infrastructure to thrive, then agriculture will continue to thrive. And so we're trying to make sure that rural Texas will continue to have those type of just basic necessities, so that they do not, small town Texas does not die. And so we need to make sure that small communities have that infrastructure to continue to be able to thrive and just to be able to flourish. So that's why we have help administer Community Development Fund. One of the other funds that we have is the Fire, Ambulance, and Service Truck Fund. This helps provide funds for eligible vehicles to provide emergency response. Communities can apply for this fund also. It will help purchase any type of fire truck. There are some parameters with this fund. So if you are interested in this, applying for this, whether it's a regional community or community in the region, you can either go to our website or contact me, and I'll be able to answer any questions or provide them with the information. We also have a downtown revitalization and Main Street program. This offers funds to help with the downtown area, just to help with any type of, there's any sidewalk improvement, any type of, trying to just revitalize that downtown area to make it more of what it used to be. They can apply for the downtown revitalization program and get those funds to help with improvement in that area where it might be an area downtown where it's deteriorated. Hopefully there's, we can get those funds there and help revitalize that downtown area to be more of an economic center that it used to be. This is an example in the city of St. Augustine. They were able to apply for some funds to help with some street sidewalk improvement, street lighting, drainage improvements. And then the last fund that we have is what we call the Rural Economic Development Fund. This is a new fund that we are creating. It used to be called the Texas Capital Fund. We are currently revamping that fund. It's no longer available, but this fund is to help support rural business development in rural Texas. So if you have a company that's thinking about coming into Nacogdoches, there might be some, this fund will be able to assist the city or the county with any type of infrastructure that would be utilized to help with this company. As long as that infrastructure is also going to benefit the city and not just that company, they can apply for this fund. We're currently revamping, and looking at I guess making it more user-friendly for smaller communities. So it's not available as of right now, but we're hoping that it will be open sometime in the near future by the end of 2021. So that's called our Rural Economic Development Fund. So be on the lookout for that one. And then just to end, we work with a lot of different agencies. We're just a resource. The Texas Department of Agriculture helps to promote agriculture, but we also help promote economic development. But we work with a variety of different other organizations, whether it be USDA, Office of the Governor, the Texas Workforce Commission, and the Small Business Development Center. We are a resource. We just try to be there to help rural Texas. If there's anything I can do to help anybody in Nacogdoches or in the East Texas area, please let me know. I'm a resource. We're here to help. And I know that was a lot of information in a short amount of time, but I just wanted to give you a quick overview of what we do. Please let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Manuel. We really appreciate that overview. I want to remind everybody these PowerPoints will be available on the Chamber website later this afternoon. So if you're interested, please do. Are there any questions of Manuel?
I have one.
Go ahead, Donna.
As I usually do. I'm Donna McCollum. I'm with KTRE with the local TV station. Can you just talk a little bit about, we've done a lot of reports about the impact of the excessive rain, the beef, poultry, lumber prices. This is one of those look into your crystal ball type questions. Do you know what has to happen here in Deep East Texas for the beef, poultry, lumber prices to go down, and when you think that might happen?
Well, I really don't have a clear answer for that. But what I will say, we all know that the pandemic is really the COVID-19 has affected every industry out there. And from what I understand, that I just think it's going to take some time for a lot of the supply chains to catch up. Agriculture never stopped, though, when it came to when the pandemic hit us. Those farmers and ranchers were out there still growing their plants, still doing what they needed to do, raising their cattle. It was the processing part of it that got affected, I think. So what you're looking at, whether it's the poultry processor being affected by the pandemic, or a beef processor, even the sawmills getting affected by the pandemic with social distancing and making sure everybody's healthy. That's really where I think where the delay is. And so I would say that once those processors and manufacturers are able to kind of get back to somewhat of a normal routine or catch up, get their employees vaccinated, and I think that's where things will start to, the consumer will start seeing that later at some time. But I can't give you a clear timeline of when that will happen. But I want to say that that's probably where most of that delay is at.
Thank you, Manuel. Any other questions? Any follow-ups, Donna? Well,
sorry,
listen,
I'm sorry, I had my mic off. No, not really. I was just kind of wondering if you're seeing the East Texas region on the road to recovery, or if we're still in the middle of struggling.
I think so. I think East Texas is we're doing well when it comes to the production of agriculture from my end. I think overall, when you look at some of the regions of Texas, East Texas fares well with what type of industries are there, and so I think everything is up and going. It just depends on some of the making sure that health-wise everybody's getting back to normal. Health-wise everybody's taking care of themselves. But as far as industry-wise, I think East Texas is very blessed with what we have there, what we have in East Texas. And so, whether it be the poultry industry, the lumber industry, or the timber industry, all that is viable. It's healthy and it's doing well. It's just, I think the supply chain is going to take a while for everything to get back to normal. So hopefully these manufacturers and processors can just get churning and start getting back to normal.
Well, Manuel, I want to thank you for the great work you're doing on our behalf here in East Texas. And I also I'm very appreciative of the resources that you bring. We certainly benefited with the Texas Blueberry Festival this past year and in previous years. And agriculture is a critical part of the East Texas economy, and we look forward to hearing from you more frequently in the future. Any final words?
Thank you. I'm sorry, I know that was a lot of information, and but if there's anything I can do to help as a resource, please let me know. I'm here to help, and thank you very much for your time.
Well, it's great having you, and thank you for the great work you're doing. I'm pleased to introduce now the President and CEO of the Nacogdoches Economic Development Corporation, Larissa Philpott. Good morning, Larissa.
Good morning. Just here to report on a couple of things from last week. NEDCO finished up our third entrepreneurship class in Spanish. Had the best attendance that we've had yet. We're super excited about that. Possibly taking a little bit of a break for the summer. We know folks are traveling right now, and so we will definitely continue that program and pick it back up here in a few weeks. And then also had some good turnout with the Mexican consulate that was here, partnering with a couple of other organizations in town. We're very thankful to the North Street Church of Christ for hosting them. They had several hundred people per day coming through to do things dealing with, you know, the things we all have to do, getting copies of birth certificates and getting, you know, your vital records updated and things like that. At the same time, we had a vaccine shot clinic and a job fair. And we are appreciative that we were able to partner with our community organizations to reach that population. That's all I have, Wayne.
Thank you, Larissa, and congratulations on the consulate work. At the same time, we had a great partnership with you folks last week on the reading financial statements presentation, and feedback on that's been very positive. If you're interested in seeing that, I believe you can go to either the Chambers or NEDCO's website, and it's posted on our YouTube site, I know, in the Chamber end. So great program. Thank you, Larissa. I'm pleased to welcome the executive director of the Visit Nacogdoches, Sherry Morgan. Sherry and Joanna have been some of the busiest people in early summer in Nacogdoches with the events, and we're looking forward to hearing updates on Sherry on your recent activities.
All right, thank you, Wayne. Hello, everybody. I wanted to shout out to Manuel. We have a pet ambassador. His name is Charlie Doches, and he is a Star Pro dog. So I think by some transcendental form of mathematics, he is Go Texan by proxy. But Star Pro, if your dog isn't eating it, they should. It's delicious. Charlie gives it 2 paws up. We are still enjoying economic recovery from the pandemic as we move through the summer. I'm going to be presenting our mid-year report to City Council this evening, and just to sort of bring everybody current, we have 16 hotels with 1,122 beds, 13 different unique lodging offerings, and then over 89 active short-term rental listings in Nacogdoches County. And that's sort of our lodging landscape that we have for this area that we get to promote. And on any given day, we only utilize about 78% of our inventory. So when we speak about hotel occupancy, it's never coming from 100%. For us here in Nacogdoches, it's about 78% of inventory, whether those rooms are offline or out of repair or for whatever reason, 78% is our number. And for May, our hotel occupancy was just over 50%, 50.4%, which was a 44% change from May of 2020, where we were at 34%. And again, to give you some reference of where we fall in the state and in the nation, for May 2021 in the US, average hotel occupancy was 59.3, and last year it was 33.2. So we outperformed the nation last year, and we're pretty much on par. And for the state of Texas, in May, hotel occupancy averaged out to be 62% this year, and last year it was 36%. the outstanding performers in the state, and I've yet to really narrow down exactly why. We've got our thoughts. But El Paso is operating in May. They saw upwards of 80% hotel occupancy, as well as Killeen, Waco, and Austin. So those destinations are what has bumped Texas up, just because they are performing at such unprecedented levels. But it's all economic recovery. It's all good. And we're excited to be a part of it. I think our hoteliers are happy. Certainly the visitors that we see pass through are happy with what we have to offer. July 23rd will be our next Knack Snack Friday. And I have, for those of you that don't know, Friends of Historic Knack is the organization locally that is responsible for our beautiful bronze statues. And there is a new one on deck to be installed. And it is called the Storytellers Statue, and it honors Francis Abernathy, Charles Raymond Bright, Brian Holt Davis, and Bob Murphy. And anyone else who's told stories, but those men are featured in this bronze statue, and it's going to be placed in that area, a courtyard area in front of the old bus station, across from the Fredonia, off of Fredonia Street. And that is coming up this summer. I haven't heard an exact date. I've heard some, some goal dates of maybe around that July 23rd. So keep your ears out for the installation of this great statue that honors these men who epitomize everything good in Nacogdoches, and our life here would not be the same if not for them, for their contributions and just for their presence on this earth and in this town. So that is super exciting. And July 24th will be our next full moon summer concert. Featuring the Spicolis, which is an 80s tribute band. Sponsorships are still available for that. All in for that last concert, it cost about $12,000 to put that on. So this was not a great money-making venture, even though we sold tickets. But what we saw was 800 eyes, 800 sets of eyes. There may have been some onesies, twosies in there, but for the most part, we're thinking healthy eyes. Out on those sponsorship names of the businesses that helped us put that on. So if you would like that opportunity to get the name of your business and to help bring more events like this to Nacogdoches, please let Joanna know. Tickets are available now. We have them at the front desk, or you can buy them through Eventbrite. And then lastly, just sort of a friendly neighborhood, hey you guys kind of thing. June 1st marked the beginning of hurricane season, and now is the time to start stocking up on toilet paper, water, when everybody else is and in a panic, but as you can, when you're doing your weekly grocery shopping or monthly grocery shopping, now is the time to pick up an extra case of supplies and to think through your plan. Add to your prescription drugs to make sure that you would be covered on, the chance that we would see an impact from hurricanes. We love Nacogdoches, and part of what makes Nacogdoches great are the people that live here, and that's you. And I want to keep everybody safe and healthy, and I don't want to have to fight you for toilet paper because I will win. Thank you.
Thank you, Sherry. I'm going to head to the supermarket immediately after this call to stock up, so I appreciate that. So, I just want to make sure that he wasn't able to join us, Dr. Gordon, the president of SFA. I just want to make sure you're not on the line anonymously. Well, I'm pleased to welcome the president and CEO of the Nacogdoches Area United Way, Gary Lee Ashcraft. Good morning, Gary Lee.
Good morning. Thank you, Charlotte, for all that toilet paper. I didn't know what you were doing. That's great. Thank you. Sherry, we've got you beat. United Way, we are planning, of course, for our kickoff for the campaign, the great campaign on August the 31st. That's a Tuesday. It'll be at Bonita Creek Hall. You need to be there. Be a lot of fun. Not a banquet. It's a party. We enjoy ourselves and celebrate the idea of giving and donating to United Way through workplace campaigns. On that note, we're working harder than I thought we would, bringing in new campaigns. We probably have 5 to 8 new campaigns that'll join about 30 some odd campaigns this fall. The more participation, volunteer participation, the better. On our day of caring, it was smaller but real good quality, and other companies that couldn't participate because COVID restrictions still in place, indicating that they will be with us by the fall. So things are looking pretty good and looking up. On the other side of the fence, yes, Sherry, I think we will be getting a nice hurricane in here pretty soon. Can't wait. Look forward to it. And to that end, we have a volunteer certification program going on, which is chaired by Dr. Eminente Oliphant from the School of Social Work at SFASU. And we will be notifying everybody about that soon. We need about 3 volunteers from every entity in the community to get certified. It's an online program, about 3 hours, but you don't have to take those in 3 hours. You can split it up into segments, training volunteers how to do things. One of the things that Mario and the judge and the emergency response team group said to us at the United Way, we need you to provide us with volunteers, more volunteers that can get into Anita Scott's Expo Center and kind of be trained to calm people down. Where's my dog? What's happened? All that. Kind of give them an idea of security, and there is a plan in place. And just keep it together, and we will get through this. This too will pass. So I'm kind of excited about that. I think really and truly that's mostly all, except for a shout out that you all might not know about to the United Ways of Texas, which is our state organization. They do a great job, used to be on the board. Ashley Harris is their lobbyist primarily, and did a real good job of keeping us informed of things we needed to do. We saw a pop-up of a similar type of bill that we fought hard against over the years that we call a payday loan bill, and unfair practices, unfair practices to consumers that generally fall in the underserved areas that we focus on to try to help get financially stable, healthy, and educated, if you will. There was another bill that was snuck in there. Ashley caught it right away. I contacted Senator Nichols, and he jumped on it and voted that with his leadership, voted down that bill. And we'll just have to worry about it in the next session, because we always have our eye on that kind of thing. So fairness to all is what we look for in lending practices and that kind of thing. So I think that's it. Live United. Thank you, Wayne, always for having us on.
Thank you, Gary Lee. I appreciate that. I'm pleased to welcome this morning the President and CEO of the Texas Forest Country Partnership, Nancy Windham. Good morning, Nancy.
Good morning. Thank you again. I hope everybody had a great 4th of July and ready to get back to work, but I'll hit the high spots. Just go ahead. Manuel, is he still on the phone? Yeah, okay. He is, I cannot say enough about the support that Manuel gives the region and the state for support for project information and anything that we need to do to help our rural Texas. I'm just so glad he's in our region, put it that way. But I had the privilege of speaking to the group that he mentioned that came through Nacogdoches during their visit. And, you know, we have visited with a lot of agency groups, and they're very enthusiastic. But I do have to say, Manuel, you had the group come and visit. They were so happy to be in their jobs. They seemed to be, if they did a really good job of pretending if that wasn't the case, but I do feel like their heart is in it to help rural Texas. It's just a great, enthusiastic group that love their job, love people, and want to see this state move forward with agriculture and support for rural Texas. So my hats off to you. We're very blessed to have you here, and tell the rest of them how much we appreciate their support, because we're all in this together. So thank you very much. Can't tell you, as you know, that presentation can't tell you as we move forward how partnerships and collaborations are essential to getting anything done now. We've got to, more than ever, come together, work and communicate. We've got some things coming up that will highlight those partnerships. Want to mention, and I'll just go in order real quick because we're kind of running out of time, just to hit the high spots. And at the end, Kelly is going to post a link to our newsletter. We have a weekly newsletter that's going to mention all of these things in my report. So every Friday it goes out. So if you want to just go in there and take a look at it, some of them are mentions about grants and opportunities, working with DECOG. They work with the cities and the counties. Most of you would go, okay, I hope somebody's on top of that. I can tell you that Larissa with NEDCO, your city, your county, are very focused on making sure that they're taking advantage of all of these grant opportunities. The first one I want to mention is like DECOG. We visit with them often. You know, that's where our office is. Bob Bashaw is your contact there if you want to have any other questions about any economic development or anything about broadband. I know Lonnie spoke at the last minute, but I wanted to mention to you that Nacogdoches City Council person, Roy Bolden, he moved up to the chair position for the DECOG for this next year. So that's quite an honor. He'll do a great job, and look forward to working with him moving forward. There is as you know, the broadband office has just been established in Austin, and we are supporting in someone from our area, particularly Lonnie Hunt, to be on that. So if you have an opportunity to visit with anyone that's involved, please mention that. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to call me. As far as tourism go, Sherry on the board of the Texas, the Forest Trail region, she had a great report. There's a lot going on, but also there's a social media training that was recently performed, was hosted by the Texas Forest Trail region, and I'll provide that link to Kelly so she can get it out for any of you that want to listen to that one. I know we have the DP's Texas Workforce Solutions on the line, but just want to briefly congratulate them on a successful teacher externship. There were 19 teachers and 19 businesses that participated in this exchange of information. KTRE TV highlighted that. Kelly will give us a link, we'll provide a link on that as well. But there were 2 Nacogdoches ISD teachers that participated in being a part of the East Texas Community Health Services and the Tipton Ford. Those were the 2 businesses. And I did attend the wrap up from that, and I was so excited because these teachers went out and spent the day with these businesses, and they came back and reported. And that type of collaboration and exchange of information is very, very important in moving forward with our workforce. We are visiting with as you know, every other year we have a Texas Film Commission do a training for certification during our Economic Development Summit. This is the year that they will come back again, and we're planning on having our summit highlight workforce development, working with colleges, universities, the ISDs, and especially the businesses. So keep your antenna up for that announcement of that date and a tentative agenda. And then I mentioned the newsletter. In our newsletter, we'll have links to the Ray Perryman Economic Development Forecast Report. It will also have a link to any legislative report from our Texas Economic Development Council, job fairs, and also highlight about our membership and what we are doing. And then we continue to be involved in bringing you forward to our Texas Rural Practitioners, which I have mentioned before is a part of a statewide group of regional economic development groups where we have come together. We can provide support for our rural areas. And then overall, we're working about 5 active projects within our region right now. All of those are still undisclosed. We have to keep them confidential, but I am very pleased that we've recently had several of our communities that have qualified to submit a request of proposals for those. And that's about it. I'll wrap up with that, but look for those links. And I would encourage you to take a look at our newsletter at the end of each week. There may be something in there that you have a question about or that you would like more information about our region. And I appreciate your time. And thank you so much, Wayne and Kelly, the rest of the staff there at the Chamber for allowing us to report out.
Thank you, Nancy, for that update. It's great to hear all the activity going on in the region at this point.
Oh, do you want to hear the unemployment rate real quick? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Mark gave it to me this morning. Our unemployment dropped from last month. Our city's at 6.2%, the county's at 5.7%. Last report, the city was 6.4 and the county was 6.0. So we have had a drop in unemployment.
Well, that's good news to end on. Thank you, Nancy. Appreciate that. And I'm pleased to welcome now Erin Windham, the Communications Director for the Nacogdoches Independent School District. Good morning, Erin.
Good morning. Y'all hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. So district information coming down the pipe. This week we have vaccine clinics on Thursday at Carpenter Elementary. Whoop, just kidding. At Nacogdoches High School from 8 a.m. to 11:30, and also at Nettie Marshall from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And those are for students 12 and up, I believe. Yes, and their families and our employees. So that's a lot of people in our community who are eligible to attend one of our vaccine clinics. Also, August 13th is our convocation welcoming teachers back to school. So you will hear from me and see me mentioning hopefully a couple of more times. We still are open for sponsorships for that wonderful event. Last year we gave you guys a break because it was COVID and everyone was in a bind, and we're back to normal. We're going to have a face-to-face convocation and would love to have presenting sponsors and lovely door prizes. Remember, we have 1,000 employees, so those 1,000 employees will hear the name of your business when we call out what the next door prize is. So that's a good opportunity to market your business. In related news to NISD, we are partnering with NEDCO, the city, the county, Better Together, Elliott Electric, and SFA to collaboratively fund a survey on broadband with Connected Nation that will be launching on July 19th at 6:30 p.m. at the Expo with a town hall meeting for everyone to get all the information on that. And we will need everyone's cooperation in the county to get the surveys out to families and community members to be able to respond to that survey so that Connected Nation can collect our data and put that out there for where we sit in terms of broadband availability. So you'll be hearing more about that. Is Larissa still on the call? I don't know if Larissa had any more to say about that. She might be off. But anyway, you'll be hearing that around, and any questions on any of that, I'm willing to give it a shot.
Thank you, Erin. Any questions of Erin? Well, thank you. I appreciate that very much, Erin, for that update. And I do want to let you folks know there are a few things going on. The Hampton Inn On July 13th, we'll be hosting a reception and an introduction that will, I believe, a ribbon cutting as well. It's on the recent renovations of that facility out there. So hopefully you'll be able to join us. And again, that'll be on 7/13 at 5 p.m. We'll have a ribbon cutting, I believe, this week at Samuel Dental at 4:30 p.m. That will be at 928 North University Drive. And again, that'll be on July 8th. I believe we have a ribbon cutting this afternoon. Well, maybe I better, Kelly, if I'm wrong, correct me on that, would you please? I do think we have another ribbon cutting, and that will be, let me just check, at Anytime Fitness on July 20th in the afternoon. And then we'll have another ribbon cutting on the 22nd, which would be Lady B Salon and Cuts. And that'll be at 4:30 p.m. And that'll be at 833 East Main Street. So there are a lot of ribbon cuttings coming up very quickly, very soon for the chamber. And we'll be announcing our Eggs and Issues program a little later this week, which will be on the 22nd of the month. Any other announcements by anybody? If not, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Welcome back from the holiday, and we hope you all have a great week. Anita, did you have anything to add from the expo?
Good morning, Wayne. We have a lot going on here at the Expo Center. The guys are out working out on the property right now. We're pouring concrete as we speak, and so making a new sidewalk back in the back. And then this week we'll have the SFA Twirler Jacks will be in the building on the 7th through the 9th. And then, as Aaron had spoke about, the town hall meeting will be down in the downstairs room, and so we'll have some arrows and stuff pointing to the area that'll be held in. And so again, that'll be on the 19th. And then NISD will be here on the 28th through the 29th doing a training class. And then we'll have the Bureau of Land Management will be here the 30th and the 31st for horse and barrow adoption. So if you're interested in adopting a wild horse, we'll be here at the Expo Center, or just to come out and take a look at them and look at the wild Mustangs and stuff. That's really neat to come out. It's free of charge to come and take a look at the animals, bring the kiddos and stuff, and see the horses and stuff. That's always fun. And then August the 8th, we'll have the Mexican Rodeo in concert. And on the 14th, the Dancing with the Stars for Nacogdoches. So I don't know if they have their contestants yet, but if you're a dancer, you might want to talk to them about being a dancer for us. We'd love to have that. We have a new promoter that's coming out of Houston, and they're wanting to do a paint party. I've never heard of that, but I'm interested. It's going to be fun. They'll have canvases. They're selling canvases. Thank you. Having canvases and stuff, and they'll be having a paint and sip party here at the Expo Center. So I'm excited about that. And then the steer show validation will be down in Bourne 3 on the 25th of August. The Region 5 High School Junior High will be here the 27th through the 29th. And then we also have the gun show. GNS gun show is July the 31st and August the 1st. And then also August the 31st, we'll have Sharon's Shrine Circus, say that 3 times, down over in the main arena. So we've got a lot going on. This is our slow time of the year. It'll really kick off in the fall, starting in September. We will be very busy, but we always have room for one more event. And so if you're looking for a place to hold a meeting, please give us a call. We have a lot of weekdays available. And so if you're looking to have a meeting, give us a call. You can find more information about all these events that I mentioned. I didn't give any details to anything, but if you go to our Facebook page, the Nacogdoches County Expo and Civic Center Facebook page, we list all the information about the events, or give me a call here at the Expo, 936-564-0849. Thank you, Wayne, for giving me an opportunity to share our events. We are always looking forward to seeing you all out here, and we just having a good time out here.
Well, thank you, Anita. We really appreciate that update. It sounds like a very busy time. And Gary Lee and I will both be out there for the Wild Mustang show because we're interested in buying a horse together.
Yeah, I think we should.
And if that doesn't work, at least you can get him in Dancing with the Stars.
There's something for everyone out here, I'm telling you. You know, again, we're also in the midst of getting all this stuff, doing all these things, we're also working on the Piney Woods Fair. So if anybody is wanting to book a vendor booth, now is the time to get in touch with us. And so again, a lot going on here at the Expo Center, but we wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, it sounds like fun and it sounds like normal, and I like the sound of it. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all have a happy and prosperous week, and thank you all for joining us. And this concludes our call today. Bye-bye. By the way, Kelly posted in the chat section, I'll leave it up for a few minutes, a few announcements. Thank you.